Hey, it's Brian Jester from Occupy Fantasy. We just finished recording our Week 3 XFL DFS Twitch stream. We talked about some top plays, some XFL DFS picks for this weekend's games. We talked about lineup construction and strategy for both FanDuel and DraftKings. We took your questions. We did a couple of giveaways. We even did some discussion on spring training, which starts today, Saturday, on DraftKings. Yep, DFS for spring training. It's here. Next time, be sure to catch us live, twitch.tv/Occupy Fantasy. Go follow us over there. That way, whenever we go live, you can ask questions and get them answered as we're recording. Again, you're about to watch that replay now. During the stream, we also did a giveaway asking who will be the highest scoring DraftKings player this weekend. So comment below and let us know who you think that'll be for a chance to win a prize. Again, if you like what we do, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give us a like, a thumbs up, and any comments we appreciate. Again, this is the Week 3 XFL DFS live Twitch stream replay. Enjoy.
The XFL Week 3 edition of the Occupy Fantasy Daily Plug. Here to tell you how to tackle the slate for low risk, high risk, anywhere in between. I'm your host, Moose, at CFB_Moose on Twitter. To my right, or on the screen's right, is our co-founder at Brian Jester FF on Twitter. What's up, Brian? How's it going?
What's up, Moose? Playing an away game here, away from the home field. So we're gonna see if we can get this working correctly.
Yeah. Looks like we got some people already here in the chat. If you're here in the chat, make sure you say what's up. After we get through the little introductions and stuff, I'm gonna have a little trivia question. First person to get it right gets, if you're not a member, you get one free week of Occupy Fantasy. Might even be in trouble because I didn't even run this by you.
Yeah, I was wondering what this is gonna be. So I'll be just as surprised as everyone else. I'm curious to see what this is.
Absolutely. Yep. So if you're watching this replay here on YouTube, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification to be notified of when we upload new videos. If you have any comments or anything like that, make sure you hit comment down below. If you're watching this replay on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button, turn your notifications on so you'll be notified of when we go live in the future. If you're watching this here live, definitely say what's up. Let me go ahead and get this retweeted out here for you. And Brian, apparently I kind of blew up this week because something we did turned out to be very popular in the analytical community.
Yeah, so you charted the air yards, which we had in week 1, and we talked about in the daily plug, and then we did it again for week 2. And props to you, you did it. Chris back checked the work as well, and the air yards king himself, Mr. Josh Hermsmeyer, Frisco Josh on Twitter, gave us the retweet, and now you're contributing to the XFL scraper, which allows people to do analytical work on the XFL now. Your air yards work is now included in the play-by-play. So shout out to you. And honestly, it's just going to help analysis of XFL, both from a fantasy standpoint, from a betting standpoint, even that much more. So go work.
Yeah, and I mean, you can clip this, I guess, and do one of your little 30-second videos. But, I've always thought that the underlying statistics, normal stuff like that, should absolutely be open and transparent. The XFL play-by-play fucking sucks. And so I was like, I took it upon myself and just did what I had to do to help everybody out. So that was awesome of me. I'm glad that I'm able to do that. Glad I have a community to back me up on that. All right. Stonewall says, we didn't come to play school. We came to make money off Cardale Jones. It's a great
shout out to Cardale Jones, who when he was at Ohio State once tweeted, I didn't come here for school, came here to play football.
That's where it came from.
Yeah. What's up, Stonewall?
What's up, man? All right, so for the people here, get ready. First person to answer the question correctly, and I'll give you a little backstory on why we're asking this question. We'll get, again, 1 week free Occupy Fantasy membership, so that includes NHL, NBA, MLB spring training, and XFL, of course. So doing a little bit of work around the house. I needed some pick-me-up music. Found something on Spotify, and it was pop punk bangers of the 1990s and 2000s, and it was fucking lit.
Where is this going, Moose? I'm so curious.
Who is my favorite rock band or pop punk band? Go ahead and answer that in the chat First person to get it gets the one free week of Occupy Fantasy membership, because I was balling and cranking out to them very hard today while doing housework.
Absolutely zero people are going to get this. Although, great answer by All the Chocolate Milk.
Yeah,
Some 41.
Very close. Very, very close.
Really? That time frame?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, is it not Paramore?
It is not, no.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Did I have no puddle of mud? We're getting some great answers in the chat here.
Oh, Lucas. Lucas with a good hit. Stonewall taking back Sunday. Great answers here. So, first person, I guess, to say it. The answer's already there by a moderator.
Well, since Lucas answered it correctly, but great answer, by the way. Well, can we do like a giveaway at the end?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever wins the giveaway, the randomly generated giveaway, will get we'll get the prize.
Absolutely, yeah. So, now that we got the chat lit, Lucas answered it. Stay around to the end of the show. We'll do the giveaway. Giveaway will include the one free week of Occupy Fantasy. And you know what? Just because I'm feeling good, Note gets it, and then we're going to do the giveaway at the end for another free membership for 1 week.
That's what's up. So yeah,
Cool.
Note hit us up. We'll get you the free 1 week. And the random giveaway generator actually only awards it to people who have commented in the chat live on Twitch
within the last 15 minutes. So we're going to be here till about 9:30ish. So start commenting. I'll let you guys know when we're going to do it, and then we'll go from there.
For sure.
Cool. Lucas says me and Moose are just on the same wavelength right now. You got it, man.
For sure.
All right, so back to more serious topics. XFL Week 3. We got 2 weeks in our lane. We're up in our allocation. I had to bring out the old notebook because I think this is a very powerful week. Again, I'm gonna up my allocation. What was your initial thoughts on this?
I just got a comment. Most you're just the ultimate grinder now. You grind and film, got notebooks out. You just turned into a football guy in 1 week. Your dedication to the XFL is unbelievable. You've committed to the football guy mantra. So that's impressive. So, but from a DFS perspective, week 3, I really like the XFL from the standpoint that we can pretty clearly figure out who the top owned plays are going to be, and we can figure out where the leverage spots are going to be really easily.
Yeah,
like there's enough content out there. There's only a handful of available data that people can draw conclusions from. So pretty much every week we can figure out who the top owned guys are going to be, and that gives us big leverage. And so we've seen some of our members have success in tournaments and satellites, and even in cash games now with a little more predictability. And the reason we upped the allocation this week is allocation recommendations, because we think we can play a little bit more low risk contests too, and single games have been extremely profitable. So that's another reason.
Oh yeah, there's one game that I'm really targeting for single game, and it's in the plug. Occupy members daily plug has been up, so you can go ahead and check that out.
Which game is it, Moose?
We
don't talk about it too much. That's what I'm curious is which one.
The Dallas-Seattle game.
Okay.
Seems like you can kind of fit in any which way you want to go. I know we talk about telling the stories, and it seems like you can write a whole novel in that game and fit it in any way which one you want.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. So from a low risk standpoint, you can get it in there, and then from high risk, there's a lot of options too. So, we detailed all 4 games and how to approach them from a single game perspective. So definitely check that out.
Yep, absolutely. So again, guys, if you're here and you have questions about the slate, if you're a subscriber, we will definitely go ahead and get those questions answered. If you're new around here, go ahead and give us a follow, and we will go ahead and answer a couple of your questions. First question of the slate from Jake. It says, who benefits the most from Truesdell being out?
It's a great question, Jake. And Lucas and Chris and I were actually just talking about this right before we published the daily plug. So 2 options we think here that are going to happen. I primarily think that it's going to be the backup tight end DeAndre Goolsby, who gets Truesdell's role, period. And Goolsby, I think, is minimum price. So if you look at the final drive last week, and I was only aware of this because I needed Truesdell to score a touchdown to win a GPP, and he wasn't in the goddamn game on the final drive. And it was Goolsby who took his role was split out wide, playing inline. Literally took Truesdale's role in that final drive. So, given Trestman's offense and how it favors the tight end, I'm inclined to think that they just throw Goolsby out there, run him in the same role. And while he wasn't a prolific pass catcher in college, that role has proven to be fantasy relevant.
Okay.
The other option is they just signed or traded for the CFL superstar SJ Green. He's a wide receiver, and he's mostly a slot guy, runs shorter routes. Wonder if they go more 4 wide receivers. I don't know if that'll be the case. If they don't go 4 wide receivers and he gets playing time, it could be tricky for some of those other guys they have in the wide receiver room. But I think my initial thought is Goolsby, and we love him, especially on like those 2-game slates.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, that CFL superstar, I think he's going to be one of the more over-owned guys just because, he already has the production there in the CFL. He's one of the GOATs there, and I think people are going to play him because of his CFL stats.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. And as Nodum points out in the chat, they did dump Shontavious Jones, who was one of their top draft picks, and just immediately cut him for this 34-year-old CFL receiver. So, really interesting. There are snaps to be played. Yeah, curious to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So, let's take a look from some high-level standpoint. Some of the games unders have been crushing this league, and I guess people are expecting the same thing. For example, the Dallas-Seattle game has gone down 3 points. The New York St. Louis total has gone down 3.5 points. At FanDuel Sportsbooks, every single game, the under is 62% or more of the bets are on the under, with the extreme case of like the Dallas-Seattle game where 90% of the tickets are on the under, which is pretty crazy. Do you think we're going to see a regression? Do you think we're still going to see these games being in the 20, 30 points?
No, I mean, one, that's like the least surprising thing ever that the public is betting under after the under's gone 6-2 through 2 weeks. Just incredibly unsurprising. But red zone scoring rates have been down, and again, there's a lot of factors that go into this. The 2-point, 1-point, 3-point conversion rates have been pitiful.
Okay.
I just imagine there's going to be some regression here shortly. The pace of play and their 4th down aggressiveness, which Ben Baldwin, who actually shouted you out for doing some EPA work, he actually tweeted about 4th down aggressiveness today. And while there are different sets of rules, every XFL team is going forward on 4th down at a more aggressive rate than the NFL average this past season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even the conservative Jim Zorn led Dragons. So.
Yeah, and then the other thing that also talk about red zone. There was a chart that Anthony Reinhardt, excuse me if I say your name wrong, he did a comparison on completion rates on the air yards for each target, and for the last 3 years in the NFL versus the first 2 weeks of the XFL, and completion rate by air yards, the farther away it got, there was a greater chance. Fuck it. I'm just gonna show the chart because I can't explain it.
That's a much better. While you're pulling up the chart, going back to that SJ Green situation, Chris, our XFL writer in the chat, says the magic number is 3 Vipers tweets about Green to put him in your lineups. That's the DeAndre Tompkins rule. So if you're around last week, the DC Defenders official account tweeted about him literally 3 times an hour before kickoff, and that kind of gave us the heads up that he's gonna have a significant role.
Yeah, and he pretty much crushed, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he led the team in targets and air yards. So
yeah. So all right. So this chart right here, basically the XFL overall has a lower completion rate than the NFL, and as you get in that kind of magic, 20 that deep yards, 20 plus, 15 plus, in air yards, you see kind of a significant difference. I think that might level out closer to the NFL. Obviously, there's better players in the NFL,
Right.
but I think if we use that as a baseline, I think it's going to get a little bit closer to that, regress a little bit closer to that mean. And if that happens, you see some nice 20, 30-yard bombs that are actually complete, then you're looking pretty good. Scoring will be up.
Yeah, some of these empty air yards from Dontez Bird and Adonis Jennings could certainly benefit from a higher deep ball completion rate. But again, I know I'm on the side Moose that I think that the quarterback play, I think those numbers will hold true. But again, it's hard to draw significant conclusions from a 2-week sample. So these are something thanks to the advanced data we're getting, thanks to the yards we're tracking, like we're able to get pretty good data here. So something we'll have to just keep analyzing every week.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we all know and love, I saw in the plug for the first time, we do have the underperforming wide receiver list. For those who don't know, uh, was that a cheer or a?
Yeah, that was a crowd cheer.
Okay, cool. I thought you were telling me like shh to not talk about it.
No. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
And so, do you want to kind of explain that for a little bit for the people who are new around here?
Yeah, it won me like literally hundreds of thousands of dollars last year in the NFL. It's, I mean, seriously,
like, it's not even a joke.
No, actually hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's, you take a look at, and again, we've adjusted this formula for the XFL. Again, small sample, and this formula is going to continue to be adjusted. In a nutshell, it's which guys have been getting opportunity through targets and air yards, but haven't been converting on them in the box scores through receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Finding those differences, because most people are box score watching, those guys go lower owned than they should. And as a result, we can get high upside guys at lower than they should be ownership.
Yeah, and as Nodum points out, is this like the Hermsmeyer buy low model? Yeah, it's pretty similar.
He's the godfather of it, and this is just an iteration of it. Again, it's not everything that goes into it, but we can replicate it with 80 to 90% success, and that's enough to get things done.
And I will say, I'm not going to say names on that list, but you can kind of do a game stack with the underperforming wide receivers, and that's always a hell of a thing to do. So
I didn't even notice that, but that's intriguing to me.
Yeah, and so go ahead and check that out. OccupyFantasy.com is where you can check that membership out. Jay Frey, the real question is, did Moose ever get a new computer? I did actually.
It's been a minute since Jay Frey's been here. Jay Frey was, definitely with us through the MLB season, and Moose was struggling through the computer issues, and yeah, now you got a freaking incredible piece of machinery running this. So
yeah, shout out to Micro Center for allowing me to finance it. So that right there shows how powerful this computer is. So shitty streaming, doing really really well.
That's what's up. That is what's up.
Yeah, definitely. So,
talking about the buy low, Moose, like game stacking buy low receivers was literally my second place FFPC lineup. If you remember, Carolina, Seattle, literally game stacked buy low receivers or underperforming receivers, and we saw how that turned out. So
yeah, I mean it's yeah, I mean you can put in some cases two from the same team, 1 from, like I said, kind of a game stack, and do pretty well. I mean, when you did a Reddit Q&A and they asked about lineup construction, you were literally just like, I did the top plays from our Occupy model, took shit from the daily plug, plugged in some great betting odds for defenses, and filled the rest in with underperforming wide receivers and tight ends, and is literally won $100,000.
It was 250, but we literally don't hold back in the daily plug. There's no information that's withheld. Like everything that I use, that our staff uses, is in that plug. Yeah. So
yeah, Mets 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. You dropped the 4 on the ground. Pick that up. Killing it right now. He's new around here, so he says, "What's your thoughts on Flowers on FanDuel?"
So it's actually funny. Jake chimes in right behind him, and Jake in our Discord channel, which if you're not in it, I suggest you get in there. We've been having some great conversations, a lot of strategy discussion, high level stuff. If you're a Twitch subscriber here, you can get access to the Discord. So go ahead and subscribe here. You can do it for free with Amazon Prime. Jake and I actually made a bet in the Discord on Flowers ownership. And for those who aren't aware, Quentin Flowers, the Wildcat quarterback, will spell Taylor Cornelius tomorrow for the Vipers. He's listed as a running back on FanDuel, and he's pretty cheap. I think it was like $12 or $13. And Jake and I bet over under on the 2-game big GPP. Will Flowers be more than 25%? I have the under, just because there's no other information that Flowers will get more work, even though Cornelius was just absolutely miserable as a quarterback. No matter how much we want Flowers to get a full game's worth of work, it's probably just not going to happen. But a quarterback, even if it's a third of a game instead of running back, especially in a league where running back scoring hasn't been that great, is intriguing and an interesting high-risk play.
Yeah, Absolutely. So, great question, there, Mets. I appreciate the question. If you anyone else is here and you have questions, if you're like I said, if you're the subscriber or VIP and stuff like that, let's see. Jay Frey, just sign up for the monthly membership again. How do I get the Discord chat? Discord's actually for Twitch Prime subscribers. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us here on Twitch for free. Otherwise, it is a monthly charge.
Yeah, but Jay Frey is actually a longtime subscriber. We're gonna Jay Frey. We'll get you the VIP badge. We'll get you the direct invite link. We'll send that to you directly. So
yeah, let me make him a VIP right now. Jay Frey 72.
yeah, and actually, so as you're doing that, Notum says this is an anecdotal message saying that he feels like he's in on the plays closer to the goal line if they actually make it that far. Yeah, actually, Flowers is one of the league leaders in both goal line and red zone opportunities, throwing, passing, receiving. So, yeah, good eye there, Notum. You're right. Their red zone woes, they literally haven't scored a red zone touchdown despite being in there like 100% of the time. They're going to start scoring touchdowns, and Flowers and some of the running backs are going to be the beneficiaries. It's actually funny. A Tampa Bay, I think it was a beat reporter, tweeted that Tampa Bay's actually been practicing on an 80-yard field because of some restrictions or whatever, and it's like the jokes write themselves about not being able to convert in the red zone when they only practice on an 80-yard field.
Wait, why is that is that for everybody?
No, just them. I guess the place they practice at is, I don't know what the deal is, but it's an 80-yard field. So no surprise that they can't finish the last 20 yards.
Jesus. Yeah, as Mets points out, he says it's so easy to go Walker, Flowers, Phillips, and Lewis. That's one way to go.
Yeah, I mean, Phillips is going to be the highest owned guy of the slate, and he's just not going to continue to catch touchdowns at the rate he's catching touchdowns. So, personally, I'll let a lot of other people build that line of construction. I won't be doing it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so anything else you would kind of want to talk about? Anything that kind of sticks out for you, Brian?
We talk about it in the plug, and I don't want to get too in depth, but St. Louis is in an interesting situation this week. Huge favorites, really run-heavy team, the most run-heaviest team in the league. Even more run-heavy when the game is within one score, they're leading, and that could spell trouble for their pass catchers from a fantasy standpoint. So, just something to keep in mind, not to go all in on Tamu and some of their guys after their big Week 2 performances.
Yeah, I've noticed that a couple people has been mentioning him, the quarterback, and so like you said, just stay weary on it. That could be a good high risk play though. You think, I don't think St. Louis is going to win. I think they're going to be behind. They're going to have to pass more, and so flip that game script on you.
That could be, except I think that he's going to be high owned regardless. So, yeah. So maybe for showdown that would be interesting.
Okay.
That type of story. Yeah.
Yep. Jake says, do you think Washington, Matt Jones, Josh Johnson, and Trey McBride will play?
Washington, I'm pretty sure, is going to play. Matt Jones, he was upgraded to limited practice. We haven't seen today's. It's 9:30 on Friday, and they do this pretty late normally. Haven't seen practice reports today, but I think he'll play and be fine. Josh Johnson should also be fine and play. Trey McBride's the big question mark. Wasn't even on the game status report last week, and he suited up, but barely played, or if he did, he didn't play at all. He was listed on the injury report this week as limited in practice. So really no idea. And I just think it's a guy that, unfortunately, he has so much talent, but just not sure we can even use him as a dart throw, even on 2 games, until he gets any positive word that he might actually see at the snap.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right, so 9:25. I just put the Nightbot giveaway timer. So within the next 15 minutes, if you guys comment literally anything, you can go ahead and be eligible to get the 1 week free of Occupy Fantasy membership. As Chris pops in the chat, says injury report just hit. Hornets questionable for New York. LaDainian questionable for St. Louis.
I want LaDainian to play because we're gonna fade the shit out of him. He had to do 5 air yards last week and scored 20 fantasy points. So we're out on him. Matt Jones questionable. Yeah, all these guys were limited in practice, I assume, unless something changed on the practice participation report this week.
From Jake.
Yeah. Jake, if you missed the beginning of the show, I'm playing an away game tonight. Yeah, I'm out at somebody else's house, and no 5 TV setup here, unfortunately.
Yeah, might have 5 laundry baskets, but
yeah. All right, so we have 4 minutes now, and To get people talking in the chat, we'll do the same giveaway we've been doing also. So it's a double giveaway. Comment who you think will be the highest scoring DraftKings player this weekend for the 4-game slate. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below with who you think the highest scoring DraftKings player will be. Correct answer will win a prize, likely some sort of membership or merchandise. Week 1, somebody got it right. They haven't claimed the prize. Week 2, nobody got the answer right. Nobody guessed Cam Phillips. So hop in the chat, comment below who you think the top scorer will be this weekend.
Yeah, DK scoring.
DK scoring, and we're talking about XFL, so no Kyle Busch. I see Pit Panthers in the chat. What's up, Greg? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, how's it going? Cool. All right, so a couple more minutes. Yeah, guys, like literally, you can say you guys are awesome. Hello, like anything, it gets you eligible for this membership. Let's see here.
We got spring training tomorrow, Moose.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. So, you want to kind of take us through what spring training is going to look like for Occupy?
Yep, Daily Plug is going to be up for members only. I think we did it free last year, but it's going to be for members only. And it's it'll talk about the lineups for each game, the projected pitching rotations, and then we'll have it's like 3 or 4 keys on how to beat spring training. We'll talk about those in every single plug as well because it is different from regular season MLB. We'll have projected power hitters, lineup construction, like the Daily Plug you know and love, similar to preseason, and it's going to be incredible. I mean, a ton of our members took down GPPs last spring training.
I know there was one. There's a video up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OccupyFantasy. It's called How to Make Money in 3 minutes using the Occupy Fantasy Daily Plug. I literally started the video with 3 minutes left on the slate on DraftKings. Looked at the thing, didn't know anything at all about the slate, did not take a single peek at it, opened up the notes, just plugged in some top plays, and literally cashed in the double up off the recommendations. In the video that same day, shows that our writer Garrett finished third at GPP for 5x's value. Couldn't have done much better.
Yeah, and Lucas is in the chat. Lucas is our spring training writer. He does all the research, puts the plug together. So definitely follow him if you're not already, and give him his praise and his rightful acknowledgement once you get some wins. So
yeah. So guys, so we got a couple more minutes left. I see there's only 4 people who's commented so far that's eligible. Comment, try and win a prize. It literally is free. So I see a bunch of people here. Wonder Woman, what's up? Glad to have you on board. 2-1 subscriber. Thank you
nice.
for doing that. Question for you.
Yeah.
Over under on Spruce's ownership this week.
Shit, he was like 48% last week in the big DraftKings GPP. So I don't think it'll be much lower than that. I mean, he's been fucking crushing. So
I was gonna set the line at 50, like over under 50. I feel like the over still might hit.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it might be actually. It might be.
Yeah. So. All right. Let's see. Real quick, do you want to, while we're waiting for people to comment in the chat to try and claim their prize, do you want to talk about your NHL the other night?
No, I really don't want to talk about it, but I had used the satellite strategy, had a ton of entries into the monster on FanDuel, and was able to max it actually, and went to bed. Literally just made my lineups using the model. Went to bed with about a period and a half left in the late game. Was in first and second in the monster GPP. Woke up in 7th and 8th, so huge disappointment. About a 50K difference in prizes, so super fun. However,
I was gonna say, yeah, if you highlighted from a satellite strategy standpoint, it was pretty freaking awesome.
No, it was great. Yeah, I mean, I literally in the Discord that day, I was telling people how to, the importance of 4x4 stacking, and I literally did that and came close to taking it down. Again, all you can do is get into the top 1%, top 0.1%, and hope the puck or ball bounces your way. And I've had plenty of those bounces go my way, and there's going to be some that don't. And so is what it is.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right, before we do this draw away, do you have any last lingering thoughts about the slate or anything like that you want to talk about?
Jake asked who my biggest bust would be, and I said St. Louis receivers, and I also think Cameron Artis-Payne will be a bust this week.
Okay. Jake says you've been winning too much if you can fall asleep winning a GPP.
Yeah, man, the health comes first. Got to get that sleep in. But it doesn't matter because I literally woke up like an hour later to check my phone. So it's not like I was actually, it's not like I was getting good sleep anyways.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I'm gonna say my biggest bust is probably gonna be Parham.
I could see that too.
Yeah, yep.
He was great for us last week though.
Definitely, yeah. So, all right, how do you want to do this, Brian? Literally everyone who's chatted so far is a member. I believe so. So, do you want to just kind of just call it?
Yeah, I think we'll have to call it. Literally everyone's a member, and the one dude who was who the one dude who did comment and we gave it to him anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll call it. Actually, you know what? Let's just give it away, and then that person can decide at any time to give it to the next person. So
Okay, yep. So if we go ahead and roll it, Wonder Woman 412. So if you want to go ahead, whenever you want to, you can redeem your 1 week free membership. You can go ahead and hit us up, and we'll get you all set up. I believe it is the other person, Notum. Notum. Yeah. Go ahead and hit us up. You can either hit us up on here, check the website for our email address, email us, hit us up on Twitter, whichever way you want, and we'll get you the 1 week free subscription.
yes, for sure.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right, guys, if you have any further questions, make sure you hit us up on the Discord. If you're a subscriber, you get access to the Discord channel. If you're a subscriber and you don't have access to it, again, hit us up, Twitter, email, here, whatever. And we'll give you the link. Other than that, I think that about does it, right?
That does it. Yeah, OccupyFantasy.com. XFL plug is up as of 9:30 p.m. Friday evening. Spring training will be up tomorrow morning. And we'll probably do a subscriber-only Twitch at some point Saturday for XFL to get your last-minute questions answered.
Yep, absolutely. So probably sometime.
Actually, Moose, we should do it like at like 12 or 12:30 Eastern. That way we can hit some spring training questions in there too.
Okay, I'm cool with that. So I will. We'll see you tomorrow if you are a subscriber. So you definitely don't want to miss that one.
Yes, for sure.
All right. From Occupy Fantasy, I'm Moose, alongside Brian. Check us out, occupyfantasy.com, and have a good night.
Peace.